I know. Hi, folks. This is Dr. Kat Schreier, the water bubble journalist, being the know with the WaWa Mojo with the watershow.org and WaterCiizenNews.com. And we're still here at American Waterworks Association Annual Conference and Exposition. And I just caught Jeff Moeller slipping in to do a quick presentation. He's over at the Water Research. Well, actually, tell me what you're doing now and what your conferences, what your presentation's on.
Yes. I'm with the Water Research Foundation. We just integrated two research foundations into one, so we're taking a one water research approach. That happened January 1st, 2018, so it's big news for us. We're integrating this year. And I'm headed to a session on fostering innovation within water utilities. So this is a project that was led by the principal investigator Jason Carter at Arcadis, and it provides a guidance manual and information to help utilities develop innovation programs to help move innovation into practice at their facilities. And I'll be speaking at that session on the LIFT program, Leaders Innovation Forum for Technology, which is a program to help accelerate innovation and move new technologies into practice more quickly. And at the session, I'll be talking about how to leverage your peer network. So how to, in particular, we have a peer-to-peer utility innovation network that we call the LIFT Utility Working Group that are working together, share information, and collaborate on pilots and projects to share the costs and share the risk of demonstrating new technologies.
Fantastic, fantastic. Innovation, of course, being one of the major themes for the conference this year. And, of course, WaterCiitzen has been following the explosion of innovative technologies and this, the receptiveness and the integration side of, it was sort of this innovation goes mainstream idea. Are you seeing that utilities are much more comfortable with what the steps are to bring in new innovations and to communicate that to their boards, their public, their service areas, their staff?
Yeah, I think they are. They're definitely starting to grow innovation programs and innovation efforts, both ad hoc and informal at their utilities. Some utilities are starting to appoint a chief of innovations or a chief innovation officer. So we didn't see these kind of things 5 years ago. So I think what we've been trying to do with the LIFT program, and I think what's starting to happen at many utilities, we're kind of starting to debottleneck that demand side of innovation, which is really important because there's, as we know, there's a great supply of really cool and innovative technologies out there, but we want to also make sure that there's a receptive end user there to these new ideas and new innovations, and there's a process for them to be integrated and adopted at utilities.
Yeah, and how important it is for startups to know how to understand a utility, how to understand the history of things like, when they had their growth spurts. We heard from several utilities yesterday with, folks like Gilbert that grew in the wet 80s and when things are a little wetter in the West, or those cities like Des Moines that had big growth spurts right after World War II, and that changes what their systems look like, what kind of pipes they use, what kind of materials they use. A lot of considerations of the durability of these. These are not like throwaway cell phones that you get a new one every year because of the financing considerations. Are these some sorts of things that you guys are talking about with the utilities?
Yes. Yeah. We our co-founding one of our founding co-chairs of the program, Dr. Sudhir Murthy, who used to work at DC Water. He was their innovations chief there. He would talk about horses, hares, and elephants as the way he kind of thinks about innovative technologies and the way he categorizes them. Whereas you have hares that might have a lifespan of 1, 2, maybe 3 years. A lot of times these are IT-based technologies. And then you have horses, which are kind of the machines in the middle that might have a 10, 20-year lifespan. And then you have those elephants, those pipes and concrete infrastructure that last anywhere from 50 to 70 to 100 years. And so I think the adoption and the appetite for risk might vary quite a bit depending on whether you're working with a horse or hare or an elephant.
Yeah. One of the considerations that's come up is the fact that the Innovation Cluster Support Program at EPA is no longer around, and that was something that really helped get a lot of these clusters started back when it was just Cincinnati and Milwaukee, and now there's clusters all over the place, and they're even starting to specialize. This one's maritime, this one's ag. What's the role that LIFT and WEF and the other folks are doing to step in to keep that support going for the communication between the clusters and the water utilities and wastewater utilities.
Yeah, as you alluded to, EPA provided great support to help get many of these clusters up and running through their environmental technology clusters program, which unfortunately this year the funding was discontinued for that. We didn't want, and the clusters didn't want that effort and that collaboration that they've been fostering so far to end. So they've asked the LIFT program to serve as a sort of a home for them for their collaborative efforts. And so we've started a focus group, if you will, for technology clusters, and that's led by WEF, who's a partner with the Water Research Foundation on the LIFT program, and Dr. Barry Liner is helping to facilitate and coordinate their efforts. The clusters have nominated a chair and a vice chair, so they're really self-governing with support from LIFT and WEF.
Yeah. One last one, we've had a lot of discussion of diversity this week and women water leadership and other ways of looking at diversity and racial, ethnic, age, not just the young professionals, but the old professionals, and that shows up, of course, also in entrepreneurial water tech startups. Are you starting to see differences in the faces and the makeup and where the ideas are coming from in innovation, and how might that be further fostered?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. I think diversity is a foundation stone for innovation, as many innovation studies have shown. A lot of great innovations have come from immigrants into this country and have started up new companies and small companies and small businesses. And I think the more that we can get have more diversity in the innovation efforts, that we'll all be better off for it.
Fantastic, yeah. Fantastic. Well, I know you gotta get some breakfast and get ready for your session, we're hoping to help contribute to fostering leadership in water innovation, with our water leadership circles coming up this year, and continue working with all you folks. And you do such a fabulous job. I really appreciate all the work that you've done over the years. Jeff, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Okay.